hi to the people?
No. Hey, people.
So, you guys, my husband went to the store on his own because Mama ain't feeling good. Mama is still in night clothes. Papa is dressed. Pajamas. So he went and got all of our main things, but well, yeah, but all of what we needed right now. You want to tell them what shelf that is for?
This shelf is for a little closet that's in the hallway. That we can store some stuff on. That's it.
That's it. So
it's not my closet, so.
So I don't know. Am I allowed to put the shelf together?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna put it together with my little toolkit, you guys. Okay.
I don't think you need tools for it.
Oh, that's good. Oh, this and this.
Take this stuff upstairs.
Thank you, baby. So I'm gonna put this stuff away. But I said this is a perfect time to vlog. Yeah. So you guys, yesterday, this morning, I woke up and you guys, let me tell you something. I love TikTok and everything. TikTok has definitely been, to be honest, TikTok has really been very beneficial to us, especially in the beginning. And we've worked with so many companies. We've gotten a huge following over there and everything. But this morning I woke up and it said that I had a violation for something and it blocked me. And you guys, I still have companies to do reviews for, and it gave me a violation, so I can't even do the reviews for the company, so I'm just gonna have to wait. So, but it has really gave me the push and the motivation to really start using the YouTube channel a whole lot more than what I used to. And well, I don't want to say used to, but it was a time where YouTube was hard to build, you guys. YouTube is hard to build. So you just gotta I've learned a routine. So I got the routine down packed and I was like, well, this will be a perfect time to talk to you guys. So refilling this. This will be a perfect time to talk to you guys about how we do all of this stuff. I don't know. It's a part of the vlog. My husband has a few things to do today, and I'm just gonna be focusing on revamping. So that's what I was gonna say. So we have a backup page on our TikTok. So we have another TikTok page that I'm actually going to be revamping today. So that's gonna be my focus for today. So if you guys haven't caught on yet, I'm the one that makes sure that everything social media wise is taken care of. My husband, I don't want him to have to worry about that part. So whenever you see certain videos and stuff like that, I used to be so hard on myself, like, we gotta edit, we gotta this and we gotta that. Ain't nobody doing none of that no more. I'm not doing no editing. You get the video the way that it is. So me and my husband acting up, having fun, laughing and giggling, or us preaching or ministering to one another, or us encouraging you guys. You're gonna get all of that throughout the lives. So today I'm going to be doing some revamps, but hold on. Okay, you guys, so my husband got a work call, so I had to pause the video, but I went to Dollar Tree yesterday and I got these little things right here. So I keep our teas in here. This is perfect for teas. And then remember I told you guys before about my husband's. So he has his as well. So I keep these right here, right by the machine. But what I'm about to do is I'm going to put the video on time lapse and we're going to try to put this shelf together. Okay? All right, you guys. So listen, I just realized y'all couldn't even see my husband helping, but I was talking to him. I promise I wasn't talking to myself. But my husband had to help me with this shelf, you guys. So the shelf is all done. I'm gonna show you guys our closet because our closet is a mess. It is definitely a mess, but I'm going to finish.
It's better than it was.
Yeah, it is better than it was. It's not really a mess. It's more so shoes. So we got to get a shoe shelf in there too. But this right here is okay for right now. I told my husband I kind of want another one because then a lot of our electronic stuff can go in there. The big electronic stuff like the crock pot and so on and so forth. But I'm going to give y'all my review. So hypertension. I mean, hyper tough. Y'all need to change our instructions for women like me because this was complicated. If my husband wasn't sitting here to help me, I was all confused. I was like, the things ain't tight and they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. And my husband explained it to me. So, pretty good. Other than that, so, baby, how much was this shelf? $29. From Walmart for a 3-footer, okay? So it's like the same height as a kid. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going a toddler. Everybody like, is y'all gonna have some kids right here? This one. Y'all gonna have some baby? This is the baby right here. This shelf. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put it in a closet. I'm going to let y'all watch that and time lapse because some things is just too much to be watching in slow motion. Y'all don't need to watch me clean out the closet in slow motion, but we're going to get it together. All right. Okay, so today is a chill day. Look at what I caught. Do it feel good?
Yeah, I think it's gonna feed the Casey.
Listen, I was one to overthink a ordinary quick meal night, but as a mom and a wife that's semi-busy, honey, we gonna do some. I'm gonna show y'all. This right here is called a platter night. Only thing I'm gonna be working a little hard for is some codfish. I made some. These are crab ragoons that I made, and I individually wrapped them because y'all, I love crab ragoon. So that I'm gonna put a little bit of work in. And you guys, I got some codfish right here that is fresh. I'm going to go ahead and season that up, add it to some flour, and we're gonna pop that inside there as well. So this is perfect. When I say perfect, this is a perfect I ain't got time because I don't feel like it kind of night. So I don't want y'all to think that Lady K is always making those big old jazzy meals all the time. Tonight is not the night. Let me tell you something. Always make sure you taste the food to make sure it's okay and it's safe for the kids. Because if you don't, then they're going to talk about you because they might not like it. The first batch of fish is done, so let me show you that. Good morning, everybody. All right, so listen. Um, every other Thursday, our lawn guys come to do the lawn. I want to show you what we have to do because Lady K wants so much stuff in the backyard. My husband said, "Our backyard got a lot of stuff." Y'all know it's school time. Well, y'all don't know. It's 7:29. So because it's school time, I have to. I'm gonna have to whisper. I just took my boots off. I got these Birkenstocks on. Okay, so listen. Let me show you. So clearly, the fire pit was too hot right here, and it kind of like turned the grass a little brown. I know our lawn guys are gonna be like, "What happened?" This happened. This. Okay, so we have to move everything that's under here, which is the chairs and the tables in the fire pit. Okay, so I'm gonna walk down And I'm going to do a spin for you guys. And you see. Okay. So also right here is where we usually have the picnic table. So I like to move it up on the little part right there, because it can't be in the middle. So this is where that goes, and then right here is where our little table goes. But we have to put everything on the slab, okay? So everything is on the slab. So right here is that table. It folds up really well. There's the chairs for that. This is the fire pit, all of the stuff that goes on the table, all of the pillows. I think I want to get like the storage container thing to put right here to put our pillows in, especially whenever we got to get the grass cut, because it'll make more sense. So the storage container, and I'll post some of the ideas of stuff that I want to get. I'm going to post it below so then you guys can see, okay? This is our aerobic chairs. We have them stacked. And this is our plants and our home pillows, fire on wood, our big tall plant, 3 tables, and my pepper plants is always out of the way. Y'all gonna have to probably wait until, okay, you can see one right here. Look at this baby. One right here, one right here, one right there. So that's 3. It's one somewhere up here, one right here, one right here. It's a whole lot of them on there, okay? It's too many to keep plucking through. It's one right here. That is basil. So my basil, my garlic, those always stay out of the way. Those are always out of the way. So I'm going to show you guys when they are all done cutting the grass. But one of the things I wanted to point out to you guys is, do you see this right here? So whenever they come and cut the grass, they always go around this part right here with the weed whacker. Weed whacker, and it puts like a sharp line all the way around the yard, okay? So that's that. Now, if anybody is asking about our gate or want to know about our gate, because we started the power washing process, but first of all, it takes too long. It's almost like an hour per part of the gate. So I was telling my husband, I said, if we really want this gate to get finished, we're probably going to have to just get a company to come out and take care of it, because it's a lot of work. And of course, if we do this side, we would have to let our neighbors know. So we probably are going to have to deal with some options, like maybe put the long greenery thing along that whole side. And like I said, I'll post post links of things that I'm talking about. So they have this long, almost like a tarpy type look. You could put that along there. At least it'll make it look green. So I'll ask my husband about that. I'll tag it below. Call a company to come and finish out this, at least the whole back, and definitely that whole side over there. That whole side over here definitely can get washed, because that's where the sidewalk is. But if we do this side, we have to like let our neighbors know, because then it'll get all of their stuff wet. So we're trying to be mindful of everybody's space, if that makes sense. So even if we got to do the tarp thing on this side and on that side, it's fine with me. I don't care. Like I also stated, I told my husband about this area over here. I think it'll be perfect for a shed, but you guys, we are renting, and my husband said that he would hate to build a shed or get a shed that we would have to leave. So right now we're gonna have to wait it out on the shed. But yes, so another thing, we have the spot, and that's an easy take care of. That's not a bad thing, hard time. This is our first wood burning fire pit. I like the wood burning fire pit because I like the smell of it. But my husband said we're definitely going to change over to gas. So I'll tag this one below, but I'll also tag a gas one below. As far as firewood, I had already told you guys about this right here. But this right here in general is literally going to be a blog version of everything that we have to do when we're getting our grass mowed. Look at this. Do y'all see that? It is cold. It's cold. Plant. As far as plants, planting, we are probably, something is on fire. Can y'all see that right there? That's the moon, and then that's the smoke. Something is on fire. I can already hear the fire truck is on its way. No worries. Okay, so we have to do all of this. As far as plants, I am definitely going to probably have to get fall plants. We're probably going to change these out to get ferns, and even these, and do ferns. These right here, they lasted pretty good last winter at the old house. So I don't see those necessarily being something that we have to get rid of or change. And then of course these right here, these last all year. They are like bushes, so they last all year, no worries. But we definitely are going to have to change out the flowery plants. Probably would do ferns. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ferns that we would have to get, okay? And I want to do furniture here. I'm going to show you guys some of the furniture ideas. I'll link it below, of some stuff that I think we're going to probably get, because the anoronic chairs, they're good and everything, but I don't know. I told my husband, I'm not sure if it's just this year or what, but it feels like we are like lean back like this and it hurts your back. So I think we're definitely going to change those out for furniture. And I think one last thing, I think my husband was saying he may still do a platform. So it's a possibility that we will be doing a platform here, especially if we get furniture. But I'll link something else below to show you guys some options. If you are unable to do furniture, you can definitely do, unable to do a hardscape. You can definitely do, like, they have some options, so I'll post them below as well. Okay, so I'll make sure I tag a few things below of some ideas for you guys. I would love a swing, but my husband said no, not yet. But I'll tag a swing below just in case you're interested in a swing. I'll tag it below for you, okay? And you could just ask your husband to get it for you, or if you are a man watching this, you can ask your wife to get it for you, or for y'all. How about that? How about that? Okay. So I'll tag everything below, but here is our yard. My husband haven't been feeling that well, so I decided to make him his cup of tea, and I have my cup of coffee, and we're gonna sit here and look at the beautiful outdoors, where it's a little rainy and a little dreary, but it's still a beautiful day. All right, hey everybody. So listen, I have my coffee. My husband has his tea. He's not feeling his best. Baby, you want to talk about how you feel?
A little bit under the weather. A little bit under the weather. You know, when that season cold gets you, you know, kind of like make you feel draggy and all of that stuff. But I got my good old ginger and turmeric tea
With some honey.
With some honey to sweeten it. I think I'll be all right.
You're gonna be all right. Do you think you're gonna need some onion tea?
Maybe later.
All right, you guys. So listen, there's this thing that my husband makes when he gets sick, or usually whenever I get sick. I don't think you've ever made it for the kids. No,
the kids don't.
They don't. Yeah, because they don't like onions. So my husband makes onion. Is it onion?
I call it onion tea. That's what my father called it. You know, it's a recipe that, you know, got from my father.
Oh wow.
We used to be when we was younger and we would get sick. My father used to make that, and basically what you're doing is cutting up onions and boiling in water and let it, get the onion get soft and stuff like that, and then what you do is you sweeten it with honey. That's the only flavor. That's it. No tea bags or anything else. But you sweeten it with honey, and actually, it gives the onion a sweet taste. And I like, eating the onions, that's in the tea because now it's sweet. It's not bitter or anything.
But do you got to use a particular onion for it to be sweet? Like a yellow, a white, a purple?
No, I wouldn't recommend using a purple onion.
Okay.
I mean, normally we make it with a yellow or white onion.
Okay.
And man, I'm telling you, it pretty much knocks the cold. It might sound nasty, but to me, it's good.
Yeah.
But it helps you out. It knocks them germs up out of you.
Within like 2 days. Like within like 2 days. The last time he made it for me, it was like within 2 days I felt a whole lot better. But sometimes, depending on how far you are into the cold, if you catch it quick enough and you drink it quick enough, you can get it out quick.
Yeah.
So it's not always a 2-day thing. Like for me, probably because I took it like in the mid. But the video had came up. Remember at the old house, I had ended up making one. And my husband was like, "You always doing something extra." So I took and put, I think I put celery in there. You remember that?
What was it? You made a soup.
Yeah, it was like I made a stock. And he's like, "Mook, that's not how you're supposed to do it.
That's not how it's just plain and simple."
Plain and simple. So, that way, but it was still good. I thought it was still good, and then we still have soup too because I made a homemade soup.
Yeah, chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, last week I think. And so what I did is we didn't finish it all, so I just put it inside of a container and put the container. So we got a huge container and put it in the fridge in the freezer. So I took it out yesterday, so my husband can definitely eat some of that. But I wanted to incorporate this as a little snippet of our vlog because my husband hasn't been feeling his best and we had so much going on, in general. It was just too much to try to vlog, and I try my best to make sure that we get like little snippets when we can.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But y'all, let me tell you something. By no means, don't think that anybody who is vlogging, everybody is showing you every single moment of their life, because they're not. Okay? We are not showing you every moment of our life. We are showing you little snippets where we are comfortable with sharing, and we don't mind talking about it, if that makes sense, or something that we feel like is worth even sharing. I kind of feel like we just laid back.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, and they'll even see in the beginning of the vlog that I did the other day. Remember when Deanna put the pillow up in front of her face? That was, I wanted to show y'all that day everybody had things to do. Jordan had things to do, his finances. I was helping him get his finances. Deanna was doing her schoolwork. My husband, baby, you were updating your...
I was doing an online recertification class for my master plumbing license.
So literally everybody was doing something.
A portion of it, because I still got a long way to go.
A long way, you think so?
Yeah, I still got a long way to go. I still got another course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not really bad though. It's not like a school course, y'all. So do you want to explain it to them, because they probably thinking like, is it a college course?
A continuing education class for that Georgia required for their and other states too required for your licensed tradesmen to have, whether you're a journeyman or master plumber or whatever, electrician or HVAC guy or whatever the case may be. But before you renew the license, you have to have that continuing certification, so they can make sure you're keeping up with the laws, up to date information and all of that stuff. So how long is the class though? All together it's an 8-hour course, but this course been split up, so it's been split up to 2 4-hour courses.
Okay, so see,
You know?
so
But
it's not
the thing
like
is, you can zip through it, but if you can't zip through it, technically I can zip through it, but it monitors the time that you're on there too.
Ah, okay.
And that's a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading and comprehension too. So it's not just watching videos and answering multiple choice questions and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like a long drawn out like a semester.
Nah.
It's not a semester. So
Nah.
y'all don't be like, oh, Pastor done signed up for school. No, he didn't. It's like pretty much he could finish it in one day, but like he said, it's a time thing.
Yeah.
So you got to be mindful of that.
And you can do it at your own pace.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about one thing when I got him, because see, when I got him, I got to make sure that I use that time. You got to use that time wisely when you got them on camera. Amen. Amen. Okay. So listen, so I was going through some of our videos, and I came past one of our videos from the marriage ministry, and that particular video, you know what we were talking about? Building a secure foundation. Do you remember that video? Slightly. Okay. We were talking about the builder's perspective of the stages in a marriage. And I remember my husband started to talk about how there's proper stages that you have to go through, and how you have to get things inspected, and there's certain requirements, there's certain measurements, and so on and so forth. So why I got you? Can you tell them a little bit about that? Hold on, go ahead.
Well, I guess a little bit about it. I think what we start talking about in that video was, started out with foundation. But before anything happened with the foundation, first of all, you have to have a plan. And the plans have to meet certain specifications, and those specification has already been set in place, and that's what that bird just flew in.
Yeah, that's why I always noticed them.
Yeah,
but it's gonna come right back.
But those specifications, a lot of people don't take all of this stuff into consideration, because when you about to marry someone, there's groundwork.
Yeah.
And there's specifications that need to be met before that union take place. And I say this is because, like we were saying, we was comparing it to building a house. So building a house, there's code requirements. You have to meet the minimum code. Not only your work, but your plans for the work that you're going to do.
Come on.
It have to meet the minimum requirement. Well, where do you get the minimum requirement for marriage? God has already set that in place.
Yes, Lord.
For the Bible say, I know the plans I have for you.
Yes, God.
So each specific person have a specific plan. Everybody's plan is not going to look the same. You go in these neighborhoods and you see the track houses, and that's what we call it, track houses, when most of them are the same plan. They might be flipped and reversed, but most of them are the same plans. And I used to oversee plumbing in a lot of those houses, and I used to go in and lay out the floor plan. Okay, this plumbing is going to go here, this sink is going to go here, the tub or the shower is going to go here, and I would mark it out for the subs to come in and do the plumbing work. So I lay out the houses. So the foundation has already been laid. The plans has already been put in place. They already been approved. Before you can start any building of any construction, you have to have a set of approved plans. Again, the Bible says, I know the plans I have for you. So that means that God has already approved a set of plans for you and your life.
Yes,
He already laid the groundwork for marriage between a man and a woman.
Yes, God.
This is Bible. You know, I'm not going to put out no disclaimers or anything like that. I'm just speaking the truth. Okay, so when it comes down to it, when you take that into consideration, it's like, okay, well, let me find out what God looks, you know, to be suitable for a husband to be. Let's see what God finds suitable for a wife to be. Okay, so these are some things that you have to put in place before you become a union. You know, you have to meet the minimum, you know, requirements as singles before you try to incorporate them together. Because guess what? If I have a part for a G5 jet and trying to hook it up to a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, you know, those are two different things. They are not going to collaborate together. You know, those parts, because they for two different things. You know, they're two different parts. So if you don't have a part coming from a same thing, then that's you know, you're not gonna collaborate together. Good. You're not gonna be cohesive. You know, because you know they're not made for each other. And that's what we find a lot of time in a lot of relationship. You know, you already know that, you know, someone is not made for you, but you try to make it work. You know, oh, I can change them, or, you know, well, maybe, you know, if I be nice enough, you know, this will happen, that will happen. And maybe, you know, I'm being too critical, you know, maybe, you know, I can just overlook. But the thing about it, you know, and some people get tired of waiting, you know, some people get tired of, I have my own opinion, you know, how, and Paul say about that thing, you know, I forgot what book it in, but Paul say, you know, well, God say this, but, you know, this that I'm saying here is not God, but it's me. And then he said, but this is not me, but it's God, you know. So he gave his opinion as he gave the instruction that God has given too, you know.
Yes, Lord.
And you know, so I'm giving my opinion, you know, as you know, God gave his own opinion. And you know, sometimes we have to make sure that we have ourselves together.
Yes.
And a lot of times we wait for a long time because we don't have ourselves together. We've been waiting. Oh, I can't find this person. I can't find that person. I don't know. You know, speaking from my point, I think when I got myself together, you know, it's like the person that God intended for me to be with was like right in front of me. You know, so.
Wow.
Because why? Because I met the minimum requirements.
Yeah.
You know, I met the minimum requirements to be a husband.
And like you said, you have to work on yourself and have yourself together, because just as he stated, you know, he had to work on himself and meet the minimum requirements. I had to do the same thing. And especially when it comes down to the wife, like my husband said, you know, the Bible explains to you how to be a husband and what the requirements of a husband should be. The Bible does the same thing for the wife. And one of the main things that I always go back to is the scripture, a man that findeth a wife finds a good thing, and he obtains favor. So that goes back to when my husband said that it got to be cohesive. A cohesive or a connection or a mesh only happens and take place when the man is able to find his good thing. So if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in reference to focusing on what God desires for me to be as a wife going forth, not focusing on what I want to be, but what God wants me to be. And then also God showed me how to be selfless is it
Selfless.
selfless. Show me how to be selfless, because when it comes down to a marriage, it's almost like you have to always put how you feel on the back burner to focus on the other person. Somebody might disagree with that, because somebody might say, so what happens to you? What you got to understand is when I don't focus on me and I focus on him, he's doing the same thing. So then that means I'm always going to be taken care of. He's always going to be taken care of.
Some people is not going to look at it like that, and and if you don't look at it like that, then I beg you to reevaluate your situation. Reevaluate how your marriage or how you are. If you're not married, and take some inside looks. On dang, it might be a possibility that they may be right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it takes time.
It takes time.
We're not saying,
but it takes honesty too.
It definitely takes honesty. But we're definitely not saying by any means do we want anybody to think that we're saying when a marriage come together, you're going to automatically be good. Sometimes that does happen, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you will find yourself growing together and learning each other. Just because you've dated for so many years, or just because you've been married for I feel like we're still learning things about each other.
We are.
And the thing is when I find something about my husband that I may feel, well, why is he like that? I'm not gonna beat him up about what I may feel. Why is he like that? Or his pet peeves or things that he dislikes. I ask God to show me, because sometimes we take our idea of what we think people should be and how they should be, we take it to them and we get mad with them and we take it out on them. And I'm not saying, y'all listen to me, because I don't want nobody to say, and she's saying that her husband has pet peeves, that's bad. No, but what I'm saying is it can be something as simple as, I don't know, you hear people, a lot of marriages complain about letting the toilet seat down. He don't do that. He always let the toilet. I have never fell in the toilet. To God be the glory. Amen. So I'm going to use that as an example. But say, for instance, somebody says, well, my husband don't let the toilet seat down. I'm always falling in the toilet. So now you go and you complain to them. Sometimes we have to ask God, show me their heart. Show me how to understand my spouse. Because a lot of conflicts are solvable before they even start in a marriage. If you are willing to talk to God first. One last example. I remember I had said, I told my husband I was going to start doing something. My husband ain't say nothing, y'all. So this was a year ago, or a little over a year ago. I was telling him, I said, I'm gonna start doing this and da-da-da-da-da. And my husband was like, okay, So then I ended up going to sleep, and the next day I woke up and I told him, I said, God told me I can't do it. He said, well, good, because I wasn't going to say nothing. He said, I'm glad that God told you that for himself, so then you could hear from God's perspective. So do you see what what happened there? It wasn't that he disagreed with what I did. He allowed God. See, but if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, by always wanting to make sure that I'm on the right alignment with God, I wouldn't have never asked God. God would have never told me. And then it would have caused conflict in my marriage because my husband disagreed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but in a sense, you have to use wisdom too.
Well, yes.
Because at the same time, it's like, even if I don't agree, and this goes both ways, even if I don't agree, but I want to be careful not to say something that will break your spirit.
Yes, that's true. That is definitely true.
And a lot of people will say, oh, toughen up, oh, it's not going to work, Hey, that might be your opinion, but that may not be what God said.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if God come back and say, this and that, then that's what it is. But sometimes we so quick, off the hip, wanting to say something and put our 2 cents in it. But when you're breaking your spouse down, your significant other, you're breaking yourself down.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yep.
Like I said, a marriage, this is something that you have to constantly, protect build on. But
Constantly.
but even in the process of building things, because even I don't care how long you've been married, you're still building.
Yeah.
You never arrive. So it's going to be a long-term project. And you're going to get some things wrong.
A life project.
Yeah, and you're going to get some things wrong, and you're going to get a lot of things right. So but at the end result, you want to have something that called like when we building a house, it's going to be home.
Yes.
We invested so much in it.
Oh.
We're going to build a nice, happy home. They have this one thing in building. You have the plans, you have the approved plans, and then you have the as-builts. But sometimes in the midst of things, you find out that this might not work this way, or when you get to a certain point, it's like, maybe I want to change this and make this room, blow this room out, and make it build bigger, or maybe I want to add a second stairs or a set of stairs over here, and then you get that approved again. You get it reviewed and approved again. And, it doesn't change the plans, but it becomes an as-built plans. It's something that's added on, and this is the true building. This is the true structure that you have.
Yeah.
And it goes in life too. It goes in marriage. Sometimes you're building, and it's like, okay, well, let's take this to another level. Or we overextend ourselves. We don't. Let's pull it back a little bit. So we can be more cohesive together.
Yeah.
And we have to be mindful of all of those things.
Yeah, we really do.
And stop being so critical of each other.
Yes.
Stop being so critical. You don't want nobody to be too critical of you. Constructive criticism, it helps. But again, some constructive criticism will tear you down too. You'd be in situations where the wife is saying so much stuff and just disregarding the husband foundation that he has for the family. What does that do to a man? It emasculates the man. Okay, well, you're not letting me be the man in this situation. And then that's why you have a whole bunch of feminine men. And then you start complaining about a feminine man. He don't do this, he don't do that, because you wanted to take control. But the same thing with a man. If you want to lead, you don't leave being a tyrant. You don't lead. You lead by example. You lead with wisdom. But in order for a true man to lead, you have to have a leader, because the Bible say, Christ come first, and then the man, and then a wife. You have someone that laid the foundation, like husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church.
And who was the scripture? Follow me as I follow Christ.
Well, that's Paul.
I thought so. Yeah.
Paul said that.
Okay.
Follow me as I follow Christ. It's easy for someone to follow you if you follow Christ, not following religion. And that's why you have a lot of folks in marriages that's in church break up, because we worship the creature more than the creator. We follow religion more than we follow Christ. But the word also say a threefold cord is hard to break. And that's where we look at it as if you have the husband, you have the wife, and then you have Christ in the midst. And then when it's we together, and it's hard to break. Especially the women that know about braiding hair. It's hard to break. Guys that do tree work and stuff like that, when you do those wrappings, it's hard to break. It's hard to pull apart.
Yeah. So now I got excited when you said the word investment, because we were supposed to talk about that. So do you want to come in with the perspective of why do you feel it's a we were talking when we were doing the last vlog, and we were talking about how making an investment sometimes can be tricky because a lot of people are afraid to make that investment, and you called it something. What did you call it?
A high risk investment.
I think, but you said that it was worth the investment too. So can you explain from that perspective?
I don't know. Well, I don't remember the whole conversation.
So we were talking about how sometimes you have to invest in the time, you have to invest in your love, your energy.
Well, that's not sometimes. You have to.
Yeah, that's why. Well, you have to.
Yeah.
And we were talking about risky.
I just said that.
Yeah. So he was talking about
it's high risk.
Yeah. So he was saying that some people look at marriage sometimes as a risky investment. And like when my husband was talking about the foundation and how he said it's a lifelong building, you'll always be building. That is an investment that you will forever be invested in, but it's an investment that's worth it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people always ask us all the time, like, how do y'all I don't know the words that they use, but we get so much feedback on our marriage and how we love each other and how we communicate with each other and how we put each other first all the time. So I just thought that so if you can name 3 things from a husband's perspective on how to keep a good marriage, what would your 3 things be? And then I'll name 3 things
from a husband's perspective. First of all, you gotta be my friend.
Ooh,
you know,
am I your friend?
Yeah, give me some that. you gotta be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be my peace.
Yes. Am I your peace?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You know.
Sometimes I'm not.
Oh, she disturbed my peace. She's still my peace. But she disturbed my peace. Like, why is she disturbing my peace? Because I want to.
But he disturbs me when I'm calm too. Okay, so that'll be a whole nother subject. All right, go ahead.
And shoot, it's
one more.
Well, you have. How can I put it? Which one is more important? I guess a safe place. I can put it like that.
I like those 3.
You know, because some, you know, us men, we need a safe place.
Yeah.
You know, we go through so much, we carry so much, you know, so much responsibilities, so much burden, so much stress. And we don't need that nagging, you know, we don't need that fussing, we don't need that resistance, you know. You have to be a safe place, you know. One thing that I liked about the movie 300, you know, and when they had sent that messenger, you know, telling the king that Xerxes, you know, is for him to bow down to Xerxes, you know, he given an offer. And he turned back and looked at his wife, and his wife nodded her head, and that mean, like, you know, or I got your back.
Yeah.
You know, I got your back, regardless of, you know, I know you're about to make a decision, you know, an important decision. I got your back, you know, and you need that. You need someone that have your back.
Am I always your safe place?
Yeah.
Do I always have your back?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's one thing I know is I came in this thing wholeheartedly, head in. Like, one thing I love about my husband is he'll talk to me about any decisions that we're going to make as a family. And I always tell him my opinion, but I always follow up by saying, whatever decision you make, I'm going to be right there behind you. I always say that. Okay, so my perspective of 3 things that I think will have a successful marriage from a woman's perspective. Number 1 is a man that understands how to cover his family. And when I tell y'all, he covers us in the spirit and in the natural, the way he be packing on his side. Amen. So definitely understand that you need a man that understands how to cover the family. And I'm not saying somebody that'll just jump up and go off every time somebody has something to say. I'm talking about cover y'all in the spiritual realm, because just as he is the covering and the head of the household, he's the one that takes the main blows for the family when it comes down to the spiritual realm. So he got to know how to fight. Okay, so
learn how.
Because fighting in the spirit is actually learnable.
Yeah,
okay,
it's teachable.
Yeah.
That's something that you learn, over time, because the battles are not always going to be the same.
It's not. Ooh, I talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, stuff will come at you sideways, but you just have to hold on. You just have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And fight this good fight of faith, because it's nothing but a faith walk,
Yeah.
And that's why you got to know that, especially as a man, you got to know that, God have your back regardless of what's going on. You can't be flying off the handle, getting mad at the world and stuff like that. God got your back.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you may go through some uncomfortable situations, but man, things, been uncomfortable plenty of times, for me.
Yeah.
But one thing I know, that God has our back. God is going to bring us out. And if he say, so and so and so and so, then with everything in me, I trust him.
Yeah.
I trust him. It may not feel good, but it's like, God, you said it. I trust you, And I say it time and time again, God has never failed us.
Never.
Through the uncomfortable situations, through the, through everything. He had never failed us.
Yeah.
And once you know who your God is, then, I mean, you have something to stand on.
Yeah. Definitely.
But that's a misconception of what a lot of people say. They're like, they'll say some things that's not of God, and I don't even know why God bring this up, because some people say that, because the blessings from God is what is God? It trying to slip my mind. Every gift from God is good and perfect, But ask Job, is every gift from God is good and perfect, because, he allowed the enemy to, touch Job's life.
Yeah.
Ask some of the people that's in a Bible, that ran after God, I mean, ask Paul, he was exiled, ask some of the disciples, but it was for his good.
Yes, God.
For his good. So everything that you go through may not be good, but it's for God's glory. So I wanted to say that, because some people will say, you're going through a hard time because it wasn't from God. No, that's not true all the time. That's not true all the time. I just felt that in my spirit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not true all the time. That's a spirit of religion. That's a religious spirit that's saying that to you. God is not a sugar daddy God. God is a righteous God.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. And he said, if you carry your cross with him, then you suffer with him, you'll reign with him. See, we looking at things from a carnal aspect, and and think everything's supposed to please us carnally. No, but some of the hardship had blessed my soul.
Yeah.
It blessed us spiritually.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the other scripture. It was good for me that I had been afflicted, that I might learn your statutes.
Yes.
So it's like, because of what I went through, it taught me how to learn you even more, and learn, your instructions, and learn how to trust you more. Yep. Learn how to be more obedient. It teaches you so much when you go through different things. So it's definitely worth it. So my number 2, I would have to say, is make sure that you always support your wife. And that goes back and forth. So always support one another. Support goes so far, much farther than you can ever imagine. If your spouse supports you in a way that nobody else does, it's like it changes your confidence level. It makes you feel like you are capable of doing so much, even when nobody else believes in you. If my husband say, I believe you can make that cup of coffee and you're going to make it better than any cup, even if I went to Starbucks. If he believed that, I'm going to believe that. You know what I'm saying? And it may not even be a good cup of coffee, but because of his support, it made me feel good. Okay? So I definitely say a successful step, number 2, would definitely be support. So number 1 was the protection. Number 2 is the support. And finally, y'all going to laugh at me when I say this one. Baby, you going to laugh at me. Continue to date her. Continue to date her. When she walk past, grab her. Just grab her when she walk past. And why I'm saying that is because as women, we have different love languages depending on how we feel. And there are times where I can be down about something and just laying in the bed next to my husband. Like, it's times when one thing that I love about some of the ways that we connect with each other or show up for each other, he can go to sleep and I go to sleep and we turn separate ways. But if our backs are touching, y'all, that is something so special to me. So do you see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, because I don't want nobody to think, oh, she talk about just grab her. You know, my husband is hoping that I don't say nothing I shouldn't say. I can feel it. But I'm talking about way beyond that. Sometimes it's just hold her hand. Sometimes it's just when she walk past, just reach and grab her or hold her or hug her. Women love to be touched if you are her spouse.
Right.
What you say? Oh, y'all don't want to know what he said. I might have to beat that one out. But all jokes aside, women are those kind of women who have different styles of love languages, and some of them are women who like gifts of appreciation, words of wisdom, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. Now, do you remember one time we had took a love language test? That's another thing. If you like, you can definitely. You said what?
I said
Yeah. So you can take a love language test to know what your spouse's love language is. So then you can kind of more so learn to operate, because sometimes you may think that you're loving them a particular way, not realizing that they actually need more than that. So a woman don't just need to be taken care of financially. A woman don't just need you to just tell her that you love her when you leave home, or tell her when you love her when you walk in the house. Sometimes she needs you to tell her, man, that was a good meal. I told my husband I love when he told me that was a good meal. Or flirt with her. Like stuff like that. It's little things that you may never know. Actually,
learn to wink.
You hear me? When you wink, you can't learn to wink. That thing.
Like, what's up, shawty?
Don't. See what I'm saying? It gets you every time. So you got to make sure that you learn your spouse's love language. And it's the little things that you do, and that goes vice versa. Women love what you understand what your husband's love language is, and see what he likes. One of the things that I like to do every now and then, and we haven't did it in a while, but the just because gifts. I love getting my husband just because gifts, and it's not like tangible things all the time. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's a just because note, or it's a just because card, or it's a just because cake, or it's a just because let's just chill and watch a movie. So little things like that matters the most. So yet again, when you talk about all of this, because my husband, this is his moment where he needs to do his thing. He don't popped open his earbuds. He's like, okay, are we done yet? All we done, I got a good 40 minutes. To God be the glory. So I'm gonna let him chill today. But this was a good talk about foundation and about investments when it comes to marriage.
Good talk.
Good talk. Okay, you guys. So really quick, on the video, the part of the video where we were talking about marriage, we talked about love languages. My husband knows. This is my love language right here. Popcorn. Next to him, couches pulled together, all out of order. Blanket, my good body pillow, and a movie.
It's not. It's a wrap.
If that's what she like.
That's what you like.
Just the first.
Thank you, baby.